Okay, yeah. Basically, I figured I'd just commentate one of my games, so, like, you could see maybe what I was doing wrong or whatever, or what I did well, if anything, whatever. See how this goes. First sort of 6 minutes are fairly standard. Does the basic Terran wall off, I think. I go to Scout. I go for early expand, 15 hatch, 14 pull. Overload on 15, gas then pull, even. Yeah, gas on 14 after the hatchery, then pull. That's pretty much set me up for getting a metabolic boost pretty much as soon as the pull finishes, so yeah, that was spent instantly. I don't know if that's like a proper build or whatever, I think it is. My injects do start to lapse later in the game. I am only gold. Like high gold, like mid gold maybe, I don't know. This player was actually platinum. I will slow it down once things get a little bit more interesting. I've got a small amount of Zerglings here. They're just sitting around not doing much really. There isn't a lot to talk about. I've expanded, I've put up some spine crawlers because I'm not very good at holding off Terran early pressure with units alone. I don't really trust myself enough. I've gone a bit greedy, I've droned up quite a lot on my natural, so that's why I've put up these spine crawlers, because I know I've got even less of a chance really. I should probably work on that sometime. I've just got a small group of Zerglings basically waiting outside his base. Send this Overlord in, sacrifice it in, so that I know what he's got. I see the factory with tech lab, so siege tanks. Quite obvious siege tech as well, because they're useless without it. Yeah, he dies. Unfortunate, but there you go. Overlord's life. I'm actually supply blocked to this point. This is a really bad play by me. I don't do a lot of creep spreading either because I don't get enough queens. There's quite a lot of things that I could have done a lot better in this game, but there you go. That could be said for the same about anyone in Gold League, probably, and below, and you know, Platinum. Of course, anyone below Grandmasters really can always do something better. And even Grandmasters have room for improvement themselves, so this point is completely useless. I'm going to stop talking now. Well, I'm not going to stop talking because it'll probably get boring. I don't know why I didn't go for an extractor in my main rather than up here. I don't know, just did it for fun. It took me a little while to realise that I hadn't put anything on the extractor yet, so yeah, Gold League, quite obvious, whatever. I put up a Roach Warren so that I can defend against early pressure. He could have actually pushed with these and done quite a bit of damage because, well, he's got enough Marines to really hold them off. Well, I don't know actually, I think it would have been quite close. They would have taken a lot of damage from the siege tanks, considering he's got 2 more coming out as well. He probably could have pushed with this. This would have been enough. Maybe to win the game. It depends how quickly I get these roaches out. I do think these are roaches. Yeah, they are. So they would have probably been able to finish off. Still no creep spread in between these bases. That doesn't come until quite late. My fault, sorry if it's making you rage. I've been spending drones up here, so I decided to replenish. Nothing much really happens. This devolves into a fairly heavy macro. Well, not fairly heavy at all. It's not. I know people are like, oh, it's not a macro game unless you're both on 5 bases, but for someone in my league, it is a macro game. I end up on 3 bases and he ends up on 2 overall. In Gold League, that's a macro game because it's either cheese or you sit there turtling without actually harassing. I could have quite easily got muters out looking back, but it's very difficult to think on your feet in the middle of a game, and that's why I'm Gold League. Skip ahead a bit until something actually happens. I decided to get Infestors because they're always good against Terran, and not long from now I actually throw down a Spire, I think. Yeah, there it goes. Spire goes down. I do have a fairly good amassment of units, roachling. Enough to take this on actually. I could have pushed him 1 here. I don't quite know what the Terran is doing or how he's in Platinum. He does deny my scouting quite well. Good looking on the minimap. I know he's on 2 bases at this point because of my Overlord positioning here, which I just sacked over. It's an Overseer actually. Stick it above there to keep it safe. I know he's on 2 bases and I'm only on 2, so I'm in fact behind because I'm Zerg and he's Terran. So I decided to take a 3rd, but There we go, I actually start creeping at this point. Inject. And my injects are okay-ish for my league, I think. It's only around, you know, like the 15-minute mark I've actually started falling behind on my injects. In-game minutes. So I've got a small amount of infestors. I did drone up this one fairly quickly, I think, and I decided to get 2 reactors because I do want to go Broodlord, because Broodlord, this sort of composition, which I've seen most of, I do believe. Yeah, I did see it. Like, units don't show off, of course. He's going very siege tank heavy, and I know he's quite siege tank heavy, so Broodlords really will save the day for me. So get in my lair. And then a little while after my lair comes out, I decide to get a Great Aspire. Again, macro, not too great. My creep spread desirably should probably be like half the map by now. I got my Overlord spread, so I know he hasn't expanded. I call it spread, it's just, you know, basic shit. My infestors. Infestors, I did get the upgrade because I was fairly certain he was actually going to make a push before this point. I do scout now. I see Thors. I'm thinking, oh dear, I really, really do need my Broodlords quite a lot quicker. Spire's nearly done. A Great Aspire, that is, so I can get my Broodlords out quite soon. I'm keeping up a whole bunch of this lava here, mainly for these guys, so that I don't supply up myself with Broodlords. I need to morph as quickly as possible because I see he's moved out here because thanks to that Overlord and the lack of creep that I actually have there. I go to morph way too close to the edge. I don't want to move my infestors in here because, you know, siege tanks eat through infestors. They've only got 90 HP. It's not a lot. So, just trying to put together some Broodlords. I know that I can easily defeat this composition with Broodlords. And as soon as I get the gas for it, Broodlords come out. So I start attacking. I'll put it on the faster. This is the main engagement. And so I'm basically grouping together at this point. And I'm about to make a push with these and these. I've got the Corruptors there because I did see Vikings, but there are none left now. And Broodlords are saving the day. Broodlords are so good against siege tanks because, you know, the amount of damage that siege tanks end up doing to Thors, and he hasn't got the ability to scan up there, so his Thors can't even attack. The Thors are actually dropping really, really quickly. I come in with my main force, siege tanks get cleaned up really, really quickly. The Thors don't really have much effect at all by this point because of the amount of damage that they've been done to themselves. And generally these infestors had nothing to do because the Marines were taken out by the Broodlords so quickly with the siege tank composition. And that's pretty much it. After this point he just goes, oh, I built Thors, so I don't actually have enough money for anything else, so yeah, he ends up leaving. That's pretty much perfect timing. I'm pretty happy. No GG from a Terran. It always feels good. Cheers for watching, and thanks for any pointers in the comments.